You're listening to the Geriatric Mamas podcast with Jessica Raziri
and Sonia Tapley.
Hey mamas, welcome back to another episode of Geriatric Mamas. This is a Geriatric Happy Hour about a variety of topics, including an upgrade in pairs for athlete mamas and their babies. Are there any geriatric mamas competing this year? Plus, a controversial ScaryMommy.com article about parenting boundaries within our villages and communities. So let's get into it. I hope you enjoy the episode.
Yeah,
it's a fun one.
I like it.
No, it's good. I like that last topic specifically because it's just, I have mostly, I don't know, I want to say I have mixed emotions, but not really. I feel like
there's definitely a time and a place and like a perimeter around it. It's not just like free reign, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, for sure. It's like, calm down. They're my kids. But kids, I'm including the pugs in that.
Like, don't be a Karen about it.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
Just be normal.
Yeah, just like, don't be like, what is it, Luann from Housewives? Don't be like uncool. Be cool. Don't be like uncool. She said in one of, because she was like fucking a pirate. This guy that was like dressed like a pirate. And they were like calling out. They were basically slut shaming her the next day. They're all on vacation.
And she said, don't be uncool.
Yeah, she's like, who cares? Like, don't be like, just be cool. Don't be like uncool. And it like became this like famous like quote of hers.
Okay, so that officially needs to be our motto when it comes to...
Well, it's her motto, though. We can't steal it.
But I like it.
I guess we can steal it if you want it.
Yeah, because I didn't know. I didn't know it came from Luann until you just told me.
Yeah, it came from her. Don't be like uncool. Be cool. Okay. She had her cabaret show that went to.
Oh, that's the one that you went to. I forgot. Okay.
Yeah, and it was really funny because she had, like, before any of her songs, she would show, like, clips from, like, scenes of Housewives or whatever. And so that one kept, like, coming up. And she would, like, also, like, just say it. She's just like, be cool. Don't be, like, uncool. And, like, everybody would just, like, laugh and stuff. It's
okay, so it truly is hers.
Definitely hers.
You know what we need, by the way? So I was sending out, like, I did a survey, like, independent surveys about, like, if we were to sell t-shirts for Geriatric Mamas, because I just want to wear Geriatric Mamas t-shirts everywhere I go, because I like wearing my capri leggings with a t-shirt, and I, like, tuck it. You know, I tuck it. That's my uniform for the summer, part of fall, part of spring. Yeah. So, like, what? Over 50% of the year, that's my wardrobe.
T-shirt and jeans.
Yeah, so I want our t-shirts. So we don't have, like, let's be honest, our logo says geriatric.
Right.
Like, in our logo is like, kind of big.
How many women, like, actually, like, want to be labeled geriatric?
Right. So, like, people said, like, most people, like, our friends and people who are affiliated with the podcast in some way have said, yes, I will 100% sport that giant Geriatric Mamas logo. For sure. Like, maybe a couple of people said I would want the geriatric to be smaller or up in, like, the corner of the t-shirt and then have, like, a really fun quote. Well, we have quotes, but most of them are also about being geriatric. So,
they are.
We need fun mom quotes. Like, we need to start coming up with fun mom quotes that we say outside of just like our normal.
Like, is that gonna be a catchphrase? Is that a catchphrase?
But we can't be uncool because that's already a different phrase for somebody else.
We can't take it.
Clearly, because it was part of the show.
She would definitely come after us, I feel. Absolutely. She wouldn't get anything. We have no money. Luann,
we have no money. Don't come after us, please.
Don't come after us.
Jeez,
there's no money here.
Jeez, Luann.
All right. Well, we hope you enjoy this episode.
So much.
Enjoy it.
Yes, please.
Yes. Hey mamas, are you someone who's 35 plus and struggled with fertility, endured a miscarriage, experienced heartbreaking fostering or adoption challenges, or were perhaps flat out told by a doctor that you will never conceive naturally, and despite the odds, eventually found your happy ending by becoming a mama?
Send us your story at geriatricmamas.com. We would love to feature your journey to motherhood on a future Geriatric Mamas episode.
My mic is positioned. I'm definitely going to make sure I'm talking right into the mic this time. Do I sound loud and clear?
Yeah. When I was watching the video back last week before you edited it or anything, it sounded clear to me. It sounded great. And then you're like, I'm so muffled. And when you sent me the audio, I was like, she kind of is. Why did I think when I'm watching the video, I just am focused on like our faces. So then the audio kind of like drowns out. Like I can hear us talking, obviously. Like I know what we're saying.
Yeah, and I thought I was like right up on the mic, but apparently I wasn't. So I turned my mic up. Yeah. I'm talking directly into the mic. Apologies if I'm like shouting people in people's ears right now, but like what the hell? Like one day we will get our audio correct. It's like either you sound really clear and I'm far away, or I'm shouting in the mic and you sound really quiet. And it's like
this is a homemade operation. Folks.
It's a homemade operation. Sonia is she's a host. She's our social media manager. She is our researcher. I am our video producer and editor and sound engineer.
Wait till we have people to do all this shit for us because they're going to be like, you girls have no idea what you're doing, but somehow you survived.
We do everything. We freaking do everything. We are a one-stop geriatric shop. Just a couple of geriatrics fumbling our way. I can't imagine
what it would cost to pay someone all of the jobs that we do.
I don't know, but it sounds like a dream. Right. It literally sounds like a dream. Every time we like get somebody on, they're like, "Oh yeah, I have a producer." Every time it's been one person, but it's
fine. Like, and our guests are like, yeah, I don't know how I'm going to keep doing this every week because this is a lot of work, and we're just looking at each other like,
"Oh, you don't say? Right? Is it really?" And also, keep in mind, we both have toddlers running around all the time. I like have a full-time job in addition to this as well. And we're also in the process of trying to get our house on the market. Finally, it's been a long time coming. Oh my God. So we had the photographer come yesterday and it was like a legit shit show. First of all, we had the dogs here and I wasn't going to have the dogs here. I made arrangements already. The dogs were going to go to my mother-in-law's. Yeah. But at the last minute, Adam's like, no, can we just keep the dogs here? I'll hang with them. And I'm just like, but they're just like so loud. They're annoying. I just don't think they need to be here. Don't worry about it. It'll be fine. Okay. So I reluctantly, and like also it's a lot to like pack up Hayden and the dogs. So like
it is.
In the morning I was like, you know what? Fine, whatever. I'll just leave the dogs here. They're a lot. So I was like, okay, reluctantly left them here thinking like it won't be a problem. Like while she's inside, I'll put them outside. While she's outside, they'll be inside. Not a big deal.
Right.
Well, it was a big deal because our pugs are legit assholes when anybody comes over. Doesn't matter if it's a stranger, anybody, they just bark constantly nonstop, especially Delilah. It's just like, it's out of control. And so like she gets here and you would have thought that like we had two feral wolves running around the house because this bitch literally walks in, sees the pugs, takes 5 steps backwards. Like she's terrified. And I'm just like, and like, okay, I get it. Not everybody is a dog person. That's fine. But it's a pug. It's 2 pugs.
Right.
With clearly very, very obvious breathing issues, first of all, I might add. So, like, what do you really think these dogs are going to do to you? Like, they're not going to do anything. They're going to snort at you, which is all they were doing. And so she was, like, already taken aback by the dogs. I'm just like, oh, God, here we go. And it wasn't just like one of those things where I'm inside now, get the shoot done on the inside, and then let's go outside, and then we're done and call it a day. No, it was, okay, I'm going to go upstairs first. Okay, great. So we'll stay downstairs. Okay, now I'm going to go downstairs. Okay, so now we're going to go upstairs and get out of the way. Okay, now I'm going to go outside. Okay, great. So are you done inside? Yes. So we start blowing out candles, like closing up shop. And then she comes back in. Okay, now I'm going to do a video inside. We're like, you just fucking said you were done. So then we like relight all the fucking candles, turn on all the lights again, have to take the dogs back outside again. She like starts doing her like walk through production. And then we're just like, okay, are you done in here now? Or she's like, yeah, done in here. I'm like, okay. So then we start blowing stuff out again. And then she comes back through. Okay, now I'm going to do a reel. Like she wouldn't just like tell us everything that she was doing. She kept saying the words, I am done. But she meant like for right now. And like, so it was literally like, put the dogs in the laundry room, take the dogs out of the laundry room, go outside, bring the dogs inside, go upstairs, bring the dogs downstairs. It was like, it was awful. And my control freak. I've talked about this. It is what it is. I am who I am. I can't like hide it. Courtney was like laughing. She's like, yeah, I told Robin that you were probably going to like jump on top of the photographer's back like a cat and like just like watch everything angle she's getting, looking like, let me see that photo, let me make sure you got the right shot. And I'm just like, I really wanted to, but this lady, like, and I went around, I have like this pet peeve about curtains and the way that they drape on the floor. I can't, I don't want to see the seam. I want it to be like a nice little like pooled like plop on the floor. Like it's just this like OCD in me. I can't help it. And I had went around and I strategically made sure every single curtain was appropriately plopped. And this bitch comes in here and fucking wide opens up all the curtains. And I get it. You want as much light in here as possible. But I had them opened appropriately. It was so aggressive. It was not necessary. She goes around every single fucking curtain. I'm seeing the seams on the floor and everything. And as she's getting ready to do the shots, I'm like, hold on. And I like literally like throw myself. It's like I was like running to home base just to get in there and fix the freaking like plop correctly. Yeah. So I like ran around. I'm like in every room that she'd like, I'm like, which room are you going in next? This room. Okay, hold on a second. I'd like run in there, fix things. Little like, I know I was annoying, but I just
sounds really intense.
It was so intense.
You have a lot of light coming through those curtains, like you can see it.
They're all sheer. So like, what is the issue? And then just a couple more things. We'll move on from this topic, but I clearly like am not over it. It just happened. And then we were told that like they weren't going to do photos of any of the closets because it's like they don't usually photograph well and it's fine. I did make sure that like the primary closet was organized and looked good or whatever. So I was just like, well, you know, if they shoot in here, it's not the end of the world. But the other closets, like absolutely not. The garage, absolutely not. And she's like, okay, now I need to go in the garage. And Adam and I are like, what? You're what now? I'm sorry.
Right.
But apparently it was for like this 2D video that they do. It's just for square footage, but she said that you don't actually see the garage. It's just for like the layout of the house. Yeah. So I'm just like, I'm trusting her. But if I see our fucking shit on like the MLS listing of like our fucking, it literally looks like an episode of Hoarders. Cause like we were just like at the end, we were like throwing shit just to get like, I had clean laundry in my car. Cause we're like, I don't have time to fold this. I just got to fucking stuff it in the car. Like we were just throwing shit in places. I found, oh my God, I started laughing. I opened up the fridge last night at the end because I was like, I need a fucking beer. I opened up the fridge and there was a plant. Adam stuck like a fucking house plant in the fridge.
That's hilarious.
Door. I like started laughing. I was like, what the fuck is this? And he's like, I didn't know
house plants. Why couldn't we have that in the photo? I'm confused.
Well, it was dying. It was a dying rosemary. It didn't look cute.
Not cute.
No, it wasn't cute. He's like, I didn't know what to do with it. I just didn't want to throw it away. And I just stuck it in the fridge. I don't know.
Perfect. Good job.
So it's like I'm finding shit everywhere. Like my computer was in the junk drawer. My fucking mic was like stuck in like the desk over there. Like literally stuff everywhere. And I'm just like, yeah, it's just so. But the photos look great. Talk about like Insta versus reality. Like behind the scenes was a fucking mess. But
is she
it's
done
like,
with them? Is she?
Oh, and that's the best part. They're not done. So we get to turn around and do all of this again on Monday.
Why?
Because our realtor wasn't able to be here yesterday. And so, and I knew that, but I guess I wasn't understanding that, like, I wasn't comprehending that meant that we'd have to do this all over again.
Right.
Because our realtor wants to do like the video of her talking and walking people through and like, you know, get a video of her, whatever. And they're doing like drone footage and all this shit. And so I literally am just like, you know what? We're going to stage the house. I'm going to leave a fucking key under the mat and I'm going to my mother-in-law's to work and bring the dogs with me. I'm not, I can't mentally do it again. I just can't. That was a lot.
Too much.
She was here for like almost 4 hours. She got here at, yes, she got here at 2 and she didn't leave until, okay, so maybe it was 3 hours because she didn't leave until like 5.
Okay, can I just tell you that the photographer that came and did our photos at the Chapel House in Standish was there for maybe an hour, and he did a phenomenal job, even though we literally didn't have windows in some parts of the house to let light in, and we were working off basically tiny lamp lights in some areas of that house given the electricity. It was an old church, so there wasn't really anything to work with, and the photos came out amazing, and they were lit and they were beautiful, and like, what? I'm so confused.
I don't know. She was saying that she was doing like 3D photos, which I didn't really understand. Then she was doing 2D, and then she did a reel for Instagram. Then she was doing like actual photos. It killed me because I'm like, why can't you just do it all in one room? Like, you know that like you're doing the downstairs right now. So do everything that you need to do downstairs. Then go upstairs, do everything you need to do upstairs. Then go outside. It's like, why? Like, it was the constant back and forth, upstairs, downstairs, now outside, now back upstairs, now downstairs, now back outside. And it was just like, it was a lot. I didn't appreciate it. Oh, and then I was like, we had like a little mark on like the desk, and I was just like, would you be able to just like Photoshop like out like the mark on the desk or whatever, just like little, if you see little blemishes or whatever, like just kind of, you know, clean them up. And she's like, oh yeah, Photoshop is extra. And I just like stared at her, because it's like, I know how to use Adobe Photoshop, I know how to edit photos.
Yeah.
And I just stared at her. I was like, okay, that's great. If you could just send me the raw images, I'll go ahead and edit them myself.
Yeah,
and she just like stared at me, and I know she didn't appreciate it, but I'm just like, bitch, don't fuck with me. Don't play with me. You're already annoying me. You're like doing everything wrong.
I can't. That sounds awful.
It was awful. Well, that's my life right now. Now, Sonia.
I mean, I knew you were extremely busy. I just didn't understand how stressful that was going to be, because whenever we've had photos taken for the house, it's never, you know, quite been like that. And
it was a lot. I've never experienced anything like that. I literally thought it was going to be, let's come in, let's get some shots, let's do like a video or whatever. Wrap it. I thought she'd be here for like an hour, hour and a half, in and out. Let's go. No, it was like 3.5 hours.
Yeah. Cool. Well, so, I mean, there's not a whole lot really new this week, because, I mean, it's just been, I don't know, we just had a lot of downtime, except the weekends are literally packed. It's like all week, like Monday through Friday, I'll be working, trying to get everything done for the podcast. And if I had a photo shoot, I'll be editing photos. But then it's like the weekend comes, and it's like as soon as we wake up in the morning, we are running around with our heads cut off and trying to get to like 10 different places at once. So like this weekend, well, last night we had our great nephew's birthday party. And then today we have the podcast, and then we're supposed to go have our family photos tonight. And then tomorrow, one of my lifelong friends is having this huge friend and family gathering at Sebago Lake. And it's like from 12 to 5. So it's kind of like right in the middle of the day. There's no like workaround for that. And so... when I was
fun, though.
It is. It's going to be really fun. I'm excited. It's going to be really fun. It's just like every weekend in the summer is like this, which is why Maine needs to be more tropical. Like Maine needs to be less Maine, and it needs to be a lot more North Carolina / Florida. Or whatever, like, I don't know, without the snakes and all that stuff. Like, we just need the weather so that we can do all the things that people want to do in the summer all year round, because then life would just be a lot more manageable.
I agree.
Yeah. But
I can put a request into like
the weather authorities.
The weather authorities, and just say, I'm just going to need you to fix this.
Is there like such a person as a weather authority person?
Yeah. I think it's called Mother Nature.
Yeah, I feel like this might be really boring for listeners, because
we'll cut it out.
Yeah, we can just cut it. just cut it. In other news, we finally have a discount code for Apothecary, which is my new obsession, by the way. It's a happy hour. So I decided to have Mike run to the grocery store this morning and get me some Celsius energy drinks, because I didn't really feel like drinking an alcoholic beverage, especially since I have my Apothecary rosé tinted glasses, which I am obsessed with right now.
I still need to try that. I'm so excited to try it.
And I'm not sure you're actually supposed to mix this stuff with an energy drink, but I needed the energy drink, so here we are. And it tastes good. Like the whole, like half the reason why I drink an alcoholic drink is because of the flavor. So I love mocktails anyway. Like I love mocktails. So anyways, I'm drinking a grape Celsius with a full dropper of Apothecary Rosé tinted glasses. And that stuff is great. It's for mood and skin support. It's a 0 proof rosé inspired tincture made with uplifting herbal ingredients that boost the mood, provide mental clarity, ease feelings of stress, and even nourish the skin. So I put a full dropper, like I said. It's supposed to go into sparkling water or juice.
What does it taste like?
It tastes sweet. Like if you were to mix it in with like maybe a tablespoon of water, it might actually taste like rosé. But you know, it's really meant to be mixed in with something that you already like drinking, because you're not gonna taste it unless you just. But you can, like they say, like for a more immediate effect of like the daytime bliss for this one, just put the dropper directly in your mouth and just squeeze it in, and then you can really taste it, and it's yummy. It tastes really good. It's not like the fiber. Like from
I know you see my face. I'm just like, well, you don't really have a good track record for saying what tastes good.
This really does taste good, and the white wine one tastes good, and the wine down one tastes good for nighttime. They all taste really yummy. It's just if you were to put it into a full glass of something, you would need to have flavor if you like that. So this is enough, like one dropper is enough to give yourself daytime bliss without alcohol, sugar, or a hangover. So now we are super excited to share that you get 15% off orders over $45 when you use the code MAMAS15 from now through August 23rd. So,
which is easy to do because like one subscription is like already like $40, right?
Right. Yeah, exactly. So it's so good. Like for your first purchase or whatever, I think you get 20% off if you, I mean, I don't know how long that promotion went for, but if you like sign up for their emails or whatever, you can get 20% off. Also, when you subscribe, you get 20% off. So then plus you would get the 15% off.
Yeah,
right? Seriously.
Woo-hoo!
I know. And this stuff is so good. When it says daytime bliss, it definitely, you notice a huge difference in your mood. And you're just like really happy, but you're not drunk. And you're not going to get a hangover, which is amazing.
I probably won't get hives.
No, you won't get hives. I mean, unless you're allergic to like lion's mane or whatever other herbs are in here. So hopefully not.
Yeah. Is this safe for like pregnant women?
I'm not sure. Definitely have to take a look at the website, because I'm sure they know. I'm sure it explains in there. And it might also just be something to check with your doctor.
Yeah, for sure.
In other news, Annabelle has been on this insane Peppa Pig kick this week. I don't know if she saw it at my grandmother's. I know. It's like I can live through a few episodes, but to be watching it for 3 days straight when we're home. And also, like, sometimes when she's watching something else to wind down at the end of the night, she'll be fine if Mike and I want to put it on something that we're watching, like when she's about to fall asleep or something. But when it comes to this week and Peppa Pig, it's absolutely not. Absolutely not. We are just watching Peppa Pig until the cows come home.
I can't. She's asking for it, I take it, right?
Oh, yeah.
Like, if it's not
I
on,
want
she's
to watch Peppa. I want to watch Peppa. Can I watch Peppa? Okay.
The show is just like annoying for no reason. Like they think just because they're like have like these accents that it's cute, and it's like it's not. The storylines are stupid. The voices are annoying. It's not cute. It's like Bluey is cute, and the storylines are entertaining, and they're relatable to adults, and it's a cute show. The voices, like the just characters, everything. It's adorable. Peppa Pig, not adorable. It's annoying just to be annoying. Right. I already told you my thoughts on Peppa Pig and the whole encounter with those annoying kids at the grocery store. Like, Daddy. Just wait. If she keeps watching it, she's going to start doing that. And she's going to sound like it. It's literally nails on a chalkboard. It's awful.
I was texting my brother the other day, and I was like, I'm pretty sure she's getting a British accent. And he was like dying laughing.
Yeah, it's not cute. Get her switch. You know what you should tell her? Tell her that Peppa the Pig is no longer on TV.
Peppa's closed. Everything,
Peppa,
like, we'll always say, like, the park is closed, or, like, the
yeah, it's
museum
closed.
is closed,
Tell
or
her
Smiling Hill
Peppa
Farms
is
is closed.
closed.
Yeah. Peppa's
Peppa's
closed.
closed, but Bluey is open.
Mm-hmm.
And Bluey is
Always.
what
Bluey's
it's going to
just
be.
always
It's always
open.
open.
I
Peppa's
don't know what
closed.
happened to Peppa Pig.
Indefinitely.
Mm-hmm. Peppa
Just
broke.
closed. Over.
Mm-hmm.
Move on. Give up on that Peppa dream. It's not
Yeah.
happening. Not allowed.
She's escaped the TV. She ran away. Don't know where she went.
Yeah. Well, another thing that's annoying, don't get her onto it. So we watch movies on Amazon Prime, and when a movie ends lately, it never used to do this. Like when a movie's over, it usually just like shows you that it's over and it's fine. But lately, when a movie ends, it's been like automatically rolling into something else, whatever is on.
Yeah.
And it's been like rolling over into what's called the Wiggles. It's this like,
oh yeah, you were telling us about that the other day.
yeah, it's this show. It's been on for like 30 something years. It's these like grown ass men, and like they like say that like I'm so and so Wiggle, and I'm Johnny Wiggle, and I'm da da da. And they're the Wiggles, and it's basically like all singing, and it's like they have like these like costumes they'll get into, and it's obviously for kids, but it's like so uncomfortable to watch. Like they had ones where they were like, we're fruit salad, we're all fruit salad, and they're like singing, and we're just like, what the fuck is this? And Hayden gets up, starts clapping his hands and dancing along, and I'm just like, what? Yeah, so every time that comes on, he starts clapping his hands, and I'm just like, I don't know what happened, Hayden. It's not on TV anymore.
Miss Rachel came on. Woohoo!
Oops.
Yeah.
I can't. Even Miss Rachel, like after, it's like I can tolerate like first thing in the morning when he's like the most alert. We can do it for like an hour. And then after that, I'm like, and she's off.
Yeah.
Like we're done. Yeah. It's just after that, I can't. I'm singing her songs, and I
hear it. I need to get back into it though for Annabelle when she wakes up, because I was putting it on the phonics episode sometimes when she woke up, just to kind of get her really into like the whole sound of everything to help, because she has like this alphabet thing, like this alphabet puzzle. But playing with that, she gets really bored. And sometimes if things are on TV and they're like bright and flashing and like Miss Rachel's really loud or whatever, she'll be like into it. She's much more of a numbers girl than a letters girl. So I have to turn on Miss Rachel for that. And I just keep forgetting to do it lately.
Maybe she'll like get into finance and like be like,
maybe she'll teach me how to do it.
Yeah.
I'm not good with that stuff.
Is anybody good with math in your family?
Mike's really good with math.
Good with math?
Yeah.
I've never been a mather.
Yeah.
We're not mathers.
No. Are we ready to get into it?
Okay. Let's do it.
So today's episode will be a geriatric happy hour about a variety of topics, including an upgrade in Paris for athlete mamas and their babies. Are there any geriatric mamas competing this year? Plus, a controversial scarymommy.com article about parenting boundaries within our villages and communities. So let's get into it.
Yes. So I'm sure most of us are aware by now, but the 2024 Olympics started on Friday, the 26th, and Paris is looking like an upgrade for athlete mamas compared to past Olympic Games. A July 25th Olympic.com article by Grace Goulding explains the Olympic Games Paris 2024 hopes to ease the challenges that athlete parents face worldwide by featuring an on-site nursery. How cute. The first of its kind, aimed at providing an opportunity to spend more quality time with their children during the Olympics. I love that. You can tell I'm reading this for the first time. I'm just like, oh, really cool.
Oh, wow. So exciting.
You guys, as I'm reading this, I'm learning about this the same time that you are.
Same time.
This Olympic Village nursery, spearheaded by the American track star Allison Felix, will support supermoms like Clarice Agbegnenu, Naomi Osaka, and Shelly-ann fraser-pryce in balancing their podium dreams with parenthood as they tackle the tatami court and track. IOC athlete commissioner Felix said, I just knew how difficult it was to compete at the top level after I had my daughter, and some practical things were really hard. And so when I joined the Athletes Commission of the IOC, I really wanted to be that voice for athlete moms and just take away one last thing for them to worry about and the pressure of competition. I think it really tells women that you can choose motherhood and also be at the top of your game and not have to miss a beat. Pregnancy and motherhood don't have to mean a career end for female athletes, said Finland's double Olympic medalist and the IOC's athletes commissioner chair, Emma Taro. This nursery allows that to happen while also giving athletes the opportunity to focus on the games. The nursery will be located at the heart of the Athlete Village Plaza, and the Pampers brand wipes and diapers will be available for use. What? They're going to supply diapers?
Yeah.
How cute.
Right?
That's awesome. That is so cool. It will also provide a sanctuary where athletes can play with and feed their babies away from the hustle and bustle of the Olympic Games. I fucking love this. That is so awesome.
I know. It's so smart. I mean, yeah, and I love the sponsors. Like when my brother was in the 2002 Olympics for ski jumping, and so we got to go, and they had like this huge like family area where we could all go, and the sponsors that year were like a granola bar company that had like a bunch of different like things. It wasn't just granola bars. There was like a sports drink company. There was like all this stuff. So like anytime you go in to like these like locations for family or athletes or whatever, they're just there. Like you just like you could just basically live off, because they make all different kinds of things just for the Olympics and stuff. You could just like live off all this stuff. It's like so cool. Crazy. Like obviously we didn't, but we were just like blown away by like there's just so much stuff everywhere for people to just take. So when I saw that Pampers was doing it this year, I'm like, they're going to be like feeling like they're in heaven in this nursery, because they're just going to be like everything that they need within an arm's reach. It's just like there.
That is so smart. That is so awesome.
Yeah.
Good job. Yes. Finally. So I say finally, like I've been struggling with this. This has been an issue of mine with the Olympics for a while now.
Right.
Like I've had to like deal with it.
But it's just really cool. I mean, we're going to see like so much on TV over the next 15 days or whatever. We didn't watch any of the opening ceremony yesterday. I saw, when I went to go pick up Annabelle for my mother-in-law's, I saw Celine Dion singing at the opening ceremonies. Like she came out of retirement for this. And then Lady Gaga and Beyonce and I'm sure there were many more, but I saw something on YouTube this morning. Beyonce opened it up for the gymnastics team because they couldn't be at the opening ceremony because they're practicing, because today is their first day of competition. So Beyonce
I feel like the gymnastics is all I really care about. Exactly. That's all I care about. I don't really care about that weird coffee pot on the ice. I don't care about the friggin' people going sledding. Yeah. I don't care about, sorry, Brian, but I don't really care about people going flying up in the air, like skinny men that look like twigs going flying in the air above trees. Yeah. I mean, I don't care about all that shit. I don't care about the swimmers. You look stupid. I just care about the gymnastics. That's all I care about.
I love it. I don't know. I just feel like it's in my genes. It's 100% in my genes. There are definitely some things that I don't understand. Like, I mean, we're going to talk about it. I'm going to have to full on Google explain one of the ones that's coming up, but curling, I don't understand. If there are any geriatric mama curlers in the Winter Olympics in 4 years, then I'll have to Google that as well. Yeah.
I don't understand that weird coffee pot thing. It's the coffee pot on the ice where they're sitting there like hitting the ice in front of it as it's like going
So what's really hilarious is that they have that whole setup outside of LL Bean for Christmas time in Freeport. So like when we were trying to wait in line for Santa 3 times this year, Annabelle wanted to do that every single time, and I still don't get it. So I'm going to have to Google it.
I don't understand. I don't know. I don't get it.
I'm going to have to Google it. But anyways, speaking of the Olympics and athlete mamas, according to womenshealth.com, there are 16 Team USA moms competing this time around, including 2 women who had their babies over the age of 35. Can you imagine just competing in the Olympics over the age of 35? Like, no. I can barely tie my shoes, and so...
Yeah, I can't.
So we have geriatric mama Adrienne Lyle, who is currently 39. She's a 2-time Olympic dressage rider. So I had to Google dressage rider. I know it's popular because of the horses and like they're so beautiful, but dressage is one of the 3 Olympic equestrian sports. The others are eventing and show jumping. The word dressage comes from the French word dresseur, which means training. The sport of dressage at the Olympics involves showing off a horse's training by performing a set of prescribed movements in front of a panel of judges. Dressage is all about the rider working in harmony with their horse, developing suppleness, flexibility, obedience, and athleticism, which ultimately help make a horse more pleasant to ride. Dressage is a concept dating back to 350 AD, and it has roots in battle. A better trained horse would be more effective and efficient in the battlefield. Over time, this developed into a way of demonstrating horsemanship and the relationship between the horse and rider. Yeah, so I'm sure this is like really fun to watch. I love horses. I think they're just beautiful, but I always just focus, like you said, on gymnastics.
Yeah,
so maybe
I didn't even know this was a thing.
I know. So maybe now I'll pay a little bit more attention if Annabelle allows us to watch anything other than Peppa Pig. You never know.
Yeah.
But going back to Adrian, ever since her daughter Bailey was born in September 2023, she's been the real star of the show, as seen on Adrian's Instagram. So Spectra Baby USA, an electric breast pump brand, is even sponsoring Adrian for the Paris 2024 Games. I'm honored to have the support of Spectra Baby USA as I compete in the 2024 Olympics, Adrian said in a release for FWLA News Channel 8. Spectra's commitment to health and family resonates deeply with me, and I'm excited to partner with a brand that values and empowers women and mothers.
That's so cool.
I know, right? I think Spectra was actually the pump that I got, like the hospital grade one. Yeah, and I got like the bag that was really cute and everything with it. So love that.
I used the portable ones, which were good but also tricky. But Spectra's a really good brand. That's awesome. Yeah. How cool. I love that.
I know. And we also have Diana Taurasi, who's currently 41. She's a veteran of Team USA, having played basketball at the Olympic Games in 2020, 2016, 2012, 2008, and 2004. That's crazy. So Diana plays for the Phoenix Mercury in the WNBA and is married to her former teammate, Penny Taylor. The couple has 2 children, Leo Michael, who's 6, and Isla, who's 3. Diana has said that they're careful not to push either one of them down a particular career path. Leo complains, Diana told People in July, he can tell we want him to play, so we've done a 180 and don't talk about it. I'm guessing she's talking about basketball, obviously. So on the other hand, with Isla, Diana said, you can tell she's an athlete. She has a way about her. She's very physical and loves to climb. So cool. 2 geriatric mamas in the Olympics.
Awesome. Yeah, I guess I need to like venture out and observe more than just the gymnasts this year.
I remember when I used to have the kind of time to like actually watch. Like I will probably be lucky if I get to watch gymnastics.
I know.
At the rate that we're going, but I'm going to try to stay positive.
It's so funny because it's like, you know, I'm doing all this shit, working, handling Hayden, the house, the podcast. And it's so funny when it's like, I'll go to like my mother-in-law. She's just like, oh, are you watching the Olympics? Or like, oh, did you watch the red carpet? And I'm just like, with all this time, like I'm just sitting home watching TV all day.
If I stay up all night long, I can go back and watch the reruns. I can, because, you know, everything's recorded on YouTube TV. So we can just go back and watch it anytime. But like, we also need to sleep. So...
Right. Exactly. What's that? Sleep? I'm like been averaging like 3 hours of sleep a day for like the past like 2 weeks. So just freaking slap happy and delirious at this point.
Your photographer learned the slap happy part.
Oh my God. Yeah, she definitely. I don't think there was any happy with it. She just got the slap.
Yeah.
She just got the slap. That's it. All right, so a controversial July 24th ScaryMommy.com essay by an anonymous contributing writer states, I adore my village. I just don't need them reprimanding my kids. I was at the beach with a group of moms. It's a group in which we are casual friends, and I feel like a bit of an outsider. I marveled at everyone else's ability to function like a little family, with each woman doting on the other's kids, answering their questions, shaking out their towels, and tending to their newly scraped knees. They each brought their own beach bags, but snacks and supplies became communal as all the kids transitioned to the ocean and then back to the sand. It seemed so easy and comfortable, but just as I started to feel jealous, 2 of of the toddler boys began having a loud, aggressive disagreement over one of the beach toys. And before I could make sense of what was happening, the mom of one of the boys sprang into action. She separated the boys and scolded not just her son, but the other boy too, before putting them in timeout. At that moment, I knew that if the cute communal co-mothering relationship also comes with co-disciplining, I would have nothing to do with it. Because while some of my friends are totally cool with the feel free to discipline my kid like they are your own kid if you see them misbehaving mentality, it makes me wildly uncomfortable. Now, of course, there are exceptions to this rule. If someone is babysitting my child or the scenario feels immediately dangerous and needs quick intervention, that's a different story. By all means, if you see my child dancing in the busy street, say something. Still, in most normal situations, if I'm around, I want my husband or me to handle it based on our shared values of using the strategies we've agreed on. This applies to family too. I watch so many family members take charge of young children even when their parents are right there. I guess it's the "it takes a village" mantra, which I totally understand because I adore my village. I just don't need them reprimanding my kids. They can leave that to me because, to be clear, I will do it. I am not soft on my kids. I am absolutely not trying to shield them from responsibility or punishment. In fact, I think in most scenarios, my husband and I are quicker to reprimand our kids and help them take responsibility for their mistakes and overstep than those around us. But I don't want anybody else doing it. That's our job. So there were 523 comments on the Instagram post for this essay. So needless to say, people feel strongly about this topic. And now I'm going to go through and read all 523 of these comments. I'm just kidding. So one commenter wrote, "I highly encourage my friends to reprimand my kids, not over me, but if I don't witness something that happens or wasn't there, they have full authority to treat my child like their own." Another wrote, "Yes, please correct my children. Keep them safe. Teach them the importance of hearing feedback and correction from trusting relationships." At Chronically Faithful wrote, "Kids need to learn they're part of a community and their behavior can impact others. I have no problem with someone politely telling my child to stop running inside or to watch out for smaller kids, etc. Kids shouldn't be taught they don't have to listen to anyone except their parents. That is part of the village."
It's funny because Annabelle's only 3, so we haven't had a whole lot of opportunity for this to come up yet. However, it's funny because I was putting this outline together yesterday, and last night we had our great nephew's first birthday party, and it was a bunch of moms, a bunch of grandmothers, and, the dads were there too, but they were cooking and doing all the, other stuff. And so it was a lot of the moms taking care of the kids. And at one point, Annabelle was playing with one of her cousins, older cousins, and not older, enough to, get hurt feelings if someone says something wrong or does something. And so I guess Annabelle said something to her cousin and it hurt her cousin's feelings. And she put her head down in her knees and was about to cry. And I heard her mom say to Annabelle, "You just hurt her feelings. And can you say you're sorry?" And I turned around, and I feel like I might have in the past before reading this, just 2 days ago, I might have kind of had a little bit of a hurt, that jab to my chest kind of feeling about it. And I'm really glad I read this because I was like, oh no, Annabelle, did, so-and-so get hurt feelings? And because she didn't hear the first person say that to her because she was so busy doing what she was doing. And so I kind of made a point to stop and be like, oh no, did she get hurt feelings? And then Annabelle goes over and gives her a hug and a kiss and said, "I'm sorry." And I was like, oh my gosh, I literally have no idea what happened. I didn't hear the conversation or what they were playing with or whatever, but I was like, you know what? She hurt someone's feelings, and I'm glad someone said something so that we could all hear it. And I guess my stipulation would be if I'm not there and something like that happens, or if I'm further away and don't hear that person say it, I just kind of want to know what happened so that I know what we need to work on. Because I want to know, A, do we need to work on something with her? And then like B, is it actually a big deal? Should I be like soothing my child's feelings? Like, did her feelings get hurt in the reprimand too? Like, I want to make sure she's like emotionally intact after something like this, but it was definitely really respectful. So
yeah, I think I'm kind of, I sit somewhere in the middle. I think like if I'm there, then yeah, like just like let me like bring it to my attention, like let me do it. Unless it's a situation that needs immediate action of like hurting himself, hurting others, something like that, then yeah, absolutely fill in. I think, you know, I don't think there's anybody in either of our villages that are going to have styles that would include hitting or being really aggressive. So I think I'm okay with it. And like to one of the commenters' point, it's like, you don't want to teach the child that they only have to listen to you.
Right.
Like I want Hayden to know that it's like any adult authority.
Yeah.
You know, within reason, obviously I want him to understand like certain things, but like any adult authority, you respect your adults, you listen to your adults, they are in charge, what they say goes. And so it's like, I want, you know, my village to jump in when they need to, when it's appropriate. I think it was like a few months back, we started running into a problem with Hayden with hitting. He hasn't really been doing it so much anymore, but it was just like a little thing that lately he would started hitting. Yeah. And I told my mother-in-law when I brought him over, I was just like, hey, just to give you a heads up, he's starting to do this thing. I don't know where it's coming from or why, but he's starting to hit. If he hits you, you have my full support and reprimanding him like how you see fit. I knew she would never hit him back or do anything like that. So, you know, I wanted her to know that she is like fully like, if you want to try to put him in timeout, if you want to like scold him, like, you know, whatever, like you raised 3 kids, you got them not to be hitting, like, you know what you're fucking doing, right? Like, I don't need to tell her, like, you know, I didn't want her to feel like she couldn't control it if he was doing something like that, you know? So I don't know. And to your point, I feel like there was a time probably before having kids where I was like, don't be scolding my kid. Like, you know, but now that I'm a parent, like it really does take a village, and I'm thankful if somebody is helping in those situations and I'm not able to be there to catch it, and they're able to like ensure safety and correct him in the moment, because that's when they learn is like, you need to like, those are teachable moments, and that's when it's fresh and it happens. But if it's like you have to wait and go get the mom and go whatever, the moment's passed. So it's like, as long as, like I said, as long as you're not like friggin' spanking him or shouting at him that you're scaring him and turning it into something else that it didn't need to be, then absolutely fully like go for it. Please help me.
If it's not being like constructive, because like if you're like gonna hurt that person's like self-esteem, I feel like maybe you shouldn't be the one to do the reprimand. Like, let's just keep their little selves intact. You know, I feel that way too. If he's being
a little asshole, fucking correct it, please.
Yeah. And tell us about it.
And then tell me about it.
Yeah.
Because chances are, if you come tell me he's being an asshole, I'm gonna be like, oh, seriously, like I don't want to deal with this. Right. So if you already dealt with it, then cool, great, perfect, thank you. Thanks for handling.
Use like our car rides on the way to where we're going. Like, yeah, she gets reprimanded in the moment. She learns a lesson in the moment. But then like on our way to go wherever, I usually like to take that opportunity to just refresh and remind.
Yeah.
When so-and-so is playing with such and such, you can ask to play with them. If they don't want to play with you right now, or if they don't want to share, that's fine. You go find something else. And then if they want to share with you, maybe just be the person that shares. You know, maybe just be the person that shares. And so we have like these little debriefs on our way to where we're going, so that's fresh on her mind when we get there. And I try to use anything that anyone has told me could be an issue. But, you know, like I said, she's 3, so not a lot has come up.
Yeah, and maybe like let's revisit this topic as they're older.
Yeah, I think this is like a good one.
Yeah, let's revisit this when they're a little bit older.
Yeah.
And they can understand being punished, and they can understand being like scolded and stuff.
Yeah.
And then we can talk about it again. But right now it's kind of hard when they're like really little and they don't quite understand you know, what their actions are. They're still trying to, you know, figure things out. Well, This was a short and fun one for a Saturday.
Yeah, I'm excited about the Olympics if we get to watch it. I mean, I feel like a broken record. If we can watch it, I'm excited to see it. If not, I guess I'll have to catch
Just send
up.
me the cliff notes. Let me know when the gymnasts are on.
Basically
I'm not going to pretend I'm going to watch it. I'm not going to watch it.
It'll probably end up being like Vanderpump Rules or like a documentary.
I have Housewives to get caught up on.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be watching the Olympics. Don't care.
I really do.
If I'm being honest, I really don't care. I care about the gymnastics just because they're fun to watch, and that's it. I do care. I shouldn't say I don't care. I think it's cool. I care for people that are like, into it. But for me personally to watch it, like, it's just, I feel like if I was physically there, the hype of it and the excitement of it, it's just like baseball. Like, I love going to a Red Sox game. It's so fun being there at Fenway and everything. But to watch the Red Sox play on TV, I'm just like, I don't care.
Yeah, got it. It's really close to my heart.
I know, because you grew up with it. You grew up with your brother being an Olympian. So of course it's close to your heart. You've been there. You've been experienced it. You've seen a different side of it. And so to you, it's probably nostalgic because it's like you're feeling all these feels of like being a kid and memories and everything. And I don't have that. But I love that for you.
Well, that's all we have for you today, folks. Reminder, Geriatric Mamas listeners get 20% off services at Ageless Medical Aesthetics in Westbrook, Maine with the code MAMAS2024. You also get a free first swim class at Goldfish Swim School in Portland, Maine with the same code MAMAS2024. You'll just need to call them to schedule your child's first class. And then now you get 15% off Apothecary with a $45 purchase on their website. And we'll also have links in our show notes.
Now I can afford it. Now I can try it. So thank you, everyone, for listening. Be sure to tune in next week. Follow, subscribe, rate, and review. Tell a friend. We need your support.
All of your support. Please share. For more info, you can check out our website at geriatricmamas.com. You can also follow us on Instagram at geriatric_mamas, on TikTok at geriatric_mamas, on YouTube at Geriatric Mamas, on Twitter at Geriatric Mamas, and follow our group page on Facebook, Geriatric Mamas.
If you have a topic idea you'd like us to discuss, are interested in being a guest, or simply have a funny geriatric story to tell, you can go to geriatricmamas.com and hit be a guest or send us your story. It's always the shorter episodes that I feel like I struggle through. I don't know why.
Yeah, no, it's
a lot.
It's good.
Well, goodbye.
Bye. On TikTok. Oh my God, I did it. I was on this streak of not saying TikTok.
That was a really emphasized tic-tac too.
That was
a big one.
That
was really good.
2010. When do people even eat Tic Tacs anymore?
Tic-tac.
I like Mentos now. Anyways, if I have anything at all.